Hey, are you a C-suite executive that has been struggling to cut through the noise and ensure that you properly connect with your team? Well, the most impactful leaders know that isn't just about strategy, it's about mastering connective communication. So, we're going to discover today how essential C-suite communication skills can actually transform your leadership and inspire your team and drive your organization forward. So I'm going to ask you, are you ready to elevate your influence wherever you're leading at the moment today? Let's dive in. Hey, my name is Stallone-Obaraemi Samuel, and welcome to this channel where we dive deep into leadership, communication, connecting with people in order to make the world a better place. And our focus is around public speaking, leadership, and communication, and helping you to build powerful connections. So, if you are ready to elevate your influence, if you're ready to walk into the room and people appreciate the fact that you are there, if you're ready to take your organization, your business, your management team to a higher level through effective communication, now, I would recommend that you subscribe to this channel, press that button, making sure that the bell is there activated and you do not miss any episode that we drop ever. As a C-suite executive, maybe a chief executive, a chief financial officer, a chief sales officer, whatever, marketing, whatever you are, as long as you are in a leadership role, you are at the pinnacle probably of your leadership. But even the most strategic vision can actually fall flat without the right communication skills. That's why you see organizations have good plans and strategies, but because it's not communicated appropriately, it's not cascaded down appropriately, the strategies and whatever they have in place fall flat. And these are really high stakes, especially when you are in a C-suite environment. It is crucial to go beyond mere words and truly connect with your team. Effective C-suite communication is about mastering a blend of verbal, non-verbal, intellectual, emotional elements that weave themselves into your communication and everyday dealing with people so that you are able to impact the people that you work with. You're able to inspire your organization, your senior management team to take the organization to the next level. So in this video, I will share with you a couple of things. I've got 3 essential components for C-suite leaders. I will share with you how you can use the 4 levels of connections to grow, to elevate your communication style, to effectively connect with your team. And I'm going to show you practical strategies for effective communication at a chief executive level. Effective communication at that level of chief executive, chief this, chief that, is more than just delivering information. It's about creating genuine connections. Now, let's explore why connection goes beyond words. Think about a time when a simple email or meeting completely went nowhere, just fell flat. Was it the content? Or was it probably because it wasn't properly delivered? For instance, I used to work with a CEO that understands the numbers, and can deliver them effectively. He could recite the financial metrics and everything after just tell him, and he knows that because he's got a strong finance background. But here's what happens. At the end of the day, the team, what happens is that he struggles to engage the team because his delivery, his tone lacked enthusiasm, lacked the necessary ingredients to connect with the team. And the message was clear, yes, but the connection was missing. And so the input, the vibe, you missed the vibe. And the vibe is quite emotional, it's important. As a chief executive in any role, there are at least 3 components of communication that you need to pay attention to. But this is truer in face-to-face relationships. Now, these are the things you need to pay attention to. Number 1, you must understand that your words carry about 7% impact. Your tone of voice, 38%, but your body language carries 55%. Now, picture this. There's a negotiation, high-stake negotiation, and you've got 2 chief executives. One knows the numbers, he knows all the stuff, and he presents everything, the facts like that, dry, no emotion, but brilliant delivery, if you like. All the facts plugged together. And you have another CEO, another chief executive, who presents his own facts, but he's got good body movement, good enthusiasm, good demonstration. His body language, his tone, everything, they just blend with the presentation. Who would you rather tilt towards? I can assure you, as a public speaker and someone who's been in spaces where we communicate a lot and we deal with problems or challenges regarding communication, people naturally tilt towards that person that sounds convincing. Your body language and your tone often speak louder than your words. They can tell whether you're confident, whether you're convinced of what you're saying, whether you are fired up. All of that is very important. And people, everybody would like to follow someone who says, listen, I am convinced about what I'm saying. Nobody wants to follow someone who is less convinced or who is confused. So, three essential components of communication that you need to focus on as a chief executive. Number one is what you know. What you know is very important. Focus on that. Increase your knowledge. Number two is what you feel. Feelings play a big role in the passing of the message, in the communication of the message. And the third thing is action, what you do. People want to see what you do, what you say when you're on the stage, or what you say when you're at the head of the when you're sitting at the head of the table as a chief executive, as against your action, what you do. So people would usually want to cling, and people want to marry both together. And that's why, for me personally, as a student of communication, as a public speaker, as a trainer and facilitator, I am always conscious of the fact that, and I try as much as possible to say, hey, whatever you do when you're not on stage, when you're not facilitating any workshop, or when you're not working, should actually marry with what you say. Your actions should match what you say. So think of any memorable presentation that you've been part of. Think of any conference, whatever. You would realize that many times you forget what was exactly said, but you remember the emotion, you remember the passion with which it was delivered. I have a case in point. My friend Gary delivered a speech the other day, and I was there in the audience, where he talked about his growing up, his desire for excellence, and everything he wanted to do. He wanted to do it so well, excellently. But along the line, he developed an unwanted neurological condition. And his speech was about balance. Now, I may not remember, right now as I'm talking to you, I don't remember exactly the things that Gary said, but I could still see his teary eye. I could still see the way he moved on the stage. I could still feel his pauses, the way he behaved on the stage. I could still see all of that. And that gave me that emotional push. In fact, I have another friend, Priscilla, who was also in the audience, and Priscilla said she was really moved by Gary's presentation because she has a daughter that is also excellence driven. But she's now saying, how can I take this story and then also help my daughter to strike a balance and not just always to go overboard because I want to be first, I want to be on top, I want to prove myself, I want to be better. It's nothing bad in being better, but the point is, how can she help her daughter to strike a balance? And that was the thing she picked that from Gary's message, from Gary's presentation. The point here is that people will forget what you say more often than not. Like Maya Angelou said, they would forget sometimes many other things, but they will not forget how you make them feel. So as a chief executive, knowing the numbers, fine. Knowing all the hard stuff, beautiful. But how do you pass the message? Really can tell whether your people, your team will be inspired enough to continue to follow you or not. I'm going to ask you, what aspect of communication and that level, if you're a chief executive, a chief finance officer, a chief project officer, a chief anything at the head, what aspect of communication do you find most challenging in your role? Is it visual presence? Is it intellectual depth? Is it emotional connection? Or is it verbal impact? What do you find? Which of these do you find areas do you find more challenging or most challenging rather? So I would like you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments and let us talk about these things and see who might learn something from this. Top organizational leaders, they engage on 4 levels. Level number 1 is visual connection. It reminds me of my friend I respect so much, Pascal Dike. Now, Pascal Dike was the world president for Junior Chamber International in 2016. I have been in different rooms with Pascal when he sometimes chaired meetings, and sometimes when he's not the chair of the meeting, but he's in the audience and he communicates. Pascal has a way of communicating straightforward with clarity. You will feel it. You will notice in his voice that he knows what he wants to say, and he just says it. I would also add that as we speak at the moment, at the point of making this video, Pascal for several years had led and anchored the JCI, that is Junior Chamber Leadership Academy program in Japan. And that tells you the extent to which he's been exposed in terms of leadership. But the essence of this story is to tell you his communication style, and he's always clear as to where he's going in terms of if he's chairing the meeting or if he's communicating as a member of the audience, where he is, what his point is, and he gets there quickly. So visual connection, and you can tell from his body movement when Pascal communicates. You can tell from his body movement. That's one thing I love about him. His body movement, his tone of voice, the way he gesticulates, and it just tells you that he's in control. Not control from an arrogant point, but from a point of leadership. And that's one thing that C-suite executives need to learn. The second level at which chief executives or chief leaders in any organization need to operate, and they operate at, and it makes really sense, it makes a lot of sense, is at the intellectual level. They connect intellectually. When you know your subject, you command respect. Think of a time when you listen to an expert who truly walks the talk. They were not only knowledgeable, but also relatable. What helps, what that does to you is that it connects you to the person, it connects you to the subject. Because when you're well versed in your subject and understand your own strength and even your weaknesses, and you can share your vulnerability if you like, with confidently, your credibility actually just shines through. And let me ask you, did you know that one of the most powerful ways you can draw your team to you is that you're able to answer questions, core questions that they ask, and you just don't tell them, make them feel like, well, brush aside their questions, but you answer their core questions and you take their questions seriously. That way you command respect as a C-suite executive. And so I'm going to say that if you found what we've shared so far incredibly beneficial to you, and you think that there's somebody in your team, in your leadership team, in your circle that will need to watch this video, please share the video with them, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that the videos like this will be up there and a lot more people will gain the benefit of learning how to communicate in order to connect, in order to also create better organizations. So the next level you connect as a C-suite executive is emotional level. Be positive. Be an encourager. Believe in yourself. That way you would inspire people to follow you. Another thing you need to do is to be memorable at that level. Be memorable. What you need to do, when we say be memorable, when you say things, when you establish verbal connection, say things in a way that people will remember what you say. And it doesn't just come by chance. I have seen loads of senior people just wing it. They have a presentation, they have a meeting to attend. They do not prepare for the meeting. They do not prepare what to say, or they prepare less. And they just say, well, we'll go there, we've got an agenda, we'll just say and follow through, wing it. Prepare in advance. Understand it is your moment to add a little more, to gain a little more influence, to be able to inspire your team. and do not take it for granted. What I usually would tell public speakers is when you have the chance to speak with people in public, understand they're giving you their time. Now, even if it's in your team at a corporate level, understand people are giving you time. And as a chief executive, chief whatever, understand that you've got to deliver and you have to be on point. You see, if you are looking to sharpen your leadership skills right now, I want you to check an earlier video. It could be on the left, right, top, bottom, but I'm going to put the description. I'm going to put the link in the description that you can learn essential skills that every CEO must master. And in that place, we share public speaking tips that you can immediately apply. It is packed with actionable advice to enhance your public speaking and communication skills so that you can create lasting impact. And do not forget to subscribe. Do not forget to follow us. Do not forget to share this video. Just to wrap this up, understand that communication beyond words is important if you are at the C level. There are 3 components that we've shared that would help you to communicate effectively: thought, emotion, action. There are 4 levels of connection you must go through and ensure that you hold your team and you influence them. Listen, great CEOs do not just communicate, they inspire. By mastering all the elements that we've shared with you, you can lead with clarity. Your influence is going to increase. You will lead with confidence, and you will turn every interaction into a powerful opportunity to lead, to influence, to touch lives. You'll be able to communicate with conviction and watch your leadership level grow and to new heights. So do not forget to give us thumbs up if this makes sense to you. Share a video with your friends and with your community, and let us keep creating better organizations, stronger organizations. And I bet you would see your leadership level begin to grow. You will see your influence level begin to grow. Until I come your way again, my name is Stallone-Obaraemi Samuel, and my sincere desire for you is that you go on succeeding by becoming a better version of yourself.